So, welcome to another episode, podcast, talking of unscripted
Thing.
gaming. Yeah, thing. And I am Stan.
And I'm Josh.
All right. The introductions are out of the way. Josh, how you doing?
Yes. I'm good. How are you, Stan?
I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty well off. You want to talk about a different topic today?
Yeah.
My wife had just beaten Dragon Age Inquisition, and this is really going to date the podcast. She wanted to play Majora's Mask for the 3DS, but she didn't want to wait for the She didn't want to go to the store to pick it up from GameStop. She wanted to do the convenient option, like, all right, whatever, I'll just download it from Nintendo's store. It's a great idea, right? Sounds like an awesome idea. Except the problem that, what if I wanted to play Majora's Mask? And I do want to play Majora's Mask here in maybe a month or two. What are my options? Well, if she's using her 3DS to play another game, I just don't have the option. I would have to borrow her 3DS. Or, if we get a physical copy of the game, I could just take the game out of our library and use it right then and there. So I want the option to have my games digital, but I don't want all of our games to be digital only. You know, I appreciate physical media. I do. It does still have a use.
And I'm not gonna disagree to you, but I'm also going to say with the way the fidelity of games is going and the size and the scale, at a certain point, we're going to hit that point where the physical media just isn't economically viable for one reason or another, whether or not it's too expensive to produce, or you just can't get enough information on the disc to make it worthwhile.
I think so.
And I think also right now the digital media is in its infancy, and the industry is so terrified of piracy. They do really stupid things, and the infrastructure of the at least in the Americas, the internet's not quite there yet. And I think those are things that work themselves out over time, and they're kinks and growing pains of a new media and a new industry, and then the struggle of that versus the old way of doing things and the old business models. And I think that's something that will work itself out eventually, and right now looks like something that's not viable or makes sense, but I think it'll get there. So I think, yes, there are some issues with not having physical copies, but I think that they will be things that work themselves out eventually.
Eventually, you say. So, I don't believe the whole piracy thing. I do know people that are dedicated pirates. I personally know too many people, honestly, that are dedicated pirates, and before they will buy a game, they will happily just go ahead and steal it off the internet. And there are people like that do exist, but I will say the vast majority of people I know will gladly go ahead and come off the money for a game. So, like, companies like Ubisoft or EA, two of the biggest examples that keep saying that piracy is a real threat. I don't believe you. I mean, there's nothing saying that the people that stole your game were actually going to buy it.
And they most research into the people like that show that the people that are doing it regularly are going to do it regardless, and the vast number of people who used to do it did it because of a matter of convenience or ease. And when you remove friction from the equation, most people go and just pay for it. Like, look at iTunes. iTunes is a perfect example of when Apple made the process of buying music online as frictionless as possible. People started buying music again.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. So, I'd like to tell my personal story. Anti-piracy, while we're going to spin to that real quick. I wanted to watch a particular TV series. I won't get into which one, but we'll just say it's pretty popular. And it was a particular season of a TV series that had been out, and it had already played for over 9 months. And I wanted to buy this particular TV series. I wanted to pay money for it. It cost like 40 to 50 bucks. Most people can probably piece together what it is. But I'm not going to say what it was. And I couldn't buy it, and this series had already completed its run 9 months ago. I looked on Amazon, iTunes, Netflix, of course, since I have a Netflix subscription, who doesn't? But no one was able to sell me this product this season of the TV series. And I said, there's a certain point where I'm just going to steal it from you if you don't offer me a viable option to buy it. I also, just give me the option to buy the physical version. Just give me that much at least. They didn't even give that to me. It's Game of Thrones. There. It was Game of Thrones! It was season 3 of Game of Thrones. Can I just say, as a tangent, they are the worst about letting me just watch their series. I don't have HBO. I don't want HBO. Who wants to add $15 a month to their satellite or cable bill? Who wants to do that? People do it, and go ahead. There's a lot of good content on there, but there's only one thing I want to watch, and it was just Game of Thrones. I wanted to watch season 3 before season 4 came out. Lo and behold, I can't because they did not give me a way to watch it until 1 month before season 4 came out. At that point, I didn't even know when it was coming out, and so I just walked over to a friend who shall remain nameless, and I said, dude, I know you stole the season, just go ahead and let me see the files. And I went ahead, watched it all. Then I went to my Amazon account, and when it finally became available, I just paid for it, and it just sits on my computer now. Well, it sits on my Amazon Cloud account now. Because I am the customer that is 100% willing to go ahead and buy something from you if you give me a way to purchase it. If you're going to produce content and not give me a way to purchase it, well, you're encouraging piracy. It really is encouraging piracy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, let's say you had not gone and bought it afterwards, but you still had watched it. Like, there is, and I'm sure there are thousands of people like you who are ready to buy it, and we're told no.
Millions, I'll say.
You cannot buy our content. You cannot pay us money to watch our content
until we say so.
And again, that is an old media business model and belief and thought that hasn't quite that will not translate into the world we have today, and them not catching up and missing out on revenue, and then being like, why are people pirating our content? Well, because your content isn't available, and people want to watch it. You have a product that is so desired that people are willing to steal it because you won't give it to them. You won't let them pay for it. Like, how stupid is that?
The creators of Game of Thrones know that too. I was reading an interview where the creators were perfectly aware it's the most pirated thing on the internet right now, and they openly said, we acknowledge that our main production company has made it, we'll say, very difficult for people to acquire our content.
Yep, and I will say some of that's not necessarily the content creator, it's the people who...
No, it's the production company.
Yeah, the gatekeepers of that, but still, there are people who are making very idiotic decisions on that, so...
I do believe AMC does it right. So AMC with The Walking Dead, you can go ahead and purchase The Walking Dead. You can pre-purchase the entire season on Google Play. And when the season starts coming out on TV, 2 days later, you can watch that episode yourself. Perfect. That's how everyone should do it. And I gladly, every time The Walking Dead comes out, if I'm interested at the time, but I've done it twice already, I will gladly give you, it's like $35-40. Here's your $35. I'll watch it on my own schedule, and I'll watch it in a reasonable, timely manner when everyone else has watched it. Because these are social shows, you know. These are shows you want to talk about with your friends, or I'm a fan of The Walking Dead comics. I've read way past where the show is. These are shows that where you want to see where it's ending up. So, yeah, absolutely worth it. But this was Unscripted Gaming. You guys have yourselves a fine night.
Peace.